And then let me see here. You're actually, of course, I've got it way the heck over here, but this is your control for the headset.
Right, down just a hair.
How's it there?
That's perfect.
Okay, so I'm on 2 and you're on 1.
That's fine.
Since you're on my left.
Yes, I don't think I'll need to mess with it. It's great.
Okay. Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It seems like it takes a long time to get here, and then when it gets here, the blood gets pumping, the excitement builds. The teams have been working hard during the summer break. There's no time off for these guys. Some of these guys are playing baseball, or maybe they're out running in track programs during the summer, but they're still putting in the work, getting ready for the season. And we got 2 of the state's best as the Vale Vikings, the runner-up in the 2024 campaign against the Cascade Christian Challengers, who were state champions back-to-back just a couple of years ago. Some things have changed, but it seems like, Mark, when we talk about a couple of programs that just seem to always be good, that they always manage to find ways to get on top. I think probably you just say it's culture, a lot of it.
Well, it certainly is, and you look at Vale; they've been in the state, championship for football here now for the last 5 or 6 years in a row, and have done fairly well, including, like you mentioned, last year's run clear to the state final. So taking out the challengers on the way, I might add, to that final. So Cascade, I'm sure, looking for a little bit of payback today here in Bend. Great. I'm super thankful that the weather has turned out to be where it is. We got a little bit of cloud cover that's keeping the hot sunshine off of us, and no real smoke to speak of. A little bit of haze, I guess I would say, but no smoke. I know there were some concerns about that earlier in the week, but right now it looks like it's going to be great conditions for a football game.
Absolutely. Well, that's one thing. We're doing this game a little bit later tonight than we did this time about a year ago, 1 in the afternoon. And I can remember things kind of overheating a little bit with the equipment. But we're not going to have that problem today. We've got plenty of ice on hand to keep things cool. But as you mentioned, a little bit of cloud cover to take the edge off. Right now, as we move into game time, the temperature in Bend, 86 degrees. And again, as you can see on the screen, probably a little mixture of that haze that you speak of from the flat fire, but also some cloud cover here. You get the feeling that there might be that possibility down the road of maybe a thunderstorm here. But even as we speak, Mark, we've got a little bit of cool breeze blowing in here. Very light, but good.
Yeah, we'll take all of that we can get, right?
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that I'm thinking about, Vale, regardless of classification, is the record holder for state titles in football with 12. As good as Cascade Christian has been since winning their first at the 2A level in 2006, they've got 5. To me, when I think about college football, I think of Alabama. Yep. When I think of pro football, I think of franchises like the Pittsburgh Steelers or the Dallas Cowboys or the 49ers. And they're out there. Vale is kind of like the Pittsburgh Steelers almost, if you will, of the Oregon three-way, because when they're not winning it, they come awfully close. And as a matter of fact, I think about the history that you and I are acquainted with just over these last several years, that there have been numerous meetings between these two teams, and really the pendulum has swung both ways, that there might be a couple of years in a row that Vale wins it, especially if they're at home. But then we had, I'll never forget on that, I'll never forget this game as long as I live, the state quarterfinal game, where the Challengers and Vikings went to overtime, and the Challengers just barely pulled it out, even on a day where Case Schaffeld had an incredible performance. And the Challengers may have escaped from that win, but it was all downhill from them from there. We're going to go ahead and take a quick timeout, and when we return, we'll get you ready for the start of today's game here on TableRockSports.net.
At Rogue Credit Union, we don't answer to shareholders. Instead, we return earnings back to our members. We know that we're stronger when we work together, And that's why we're invested here, living, giving, and supporting local. We're your friends and your neighbors. We know the needs of our communities. Being a part of Rogue means that our focus is on our members. And when you prosper, we prosper. See the credit union difference and how being a part of something smaller can have a bigger impact.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
The Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Medford Superstore wants to buy your vehicle. So we'll beat any other dealer's offer to buy your vehicle by $500. And if we don't buy your vehicle, we'll fill up your gas tank. Only at Lithia Dodge.
Whether it's game day or a family get-together, Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
The Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Medford Superstore wants to buy your vehicle. So we'll beat any other dealer's offer to buy your vehicle by $500. And if we don't buy your vehicle, we'll fill up your gas tank. Only at Lithia Dodge.
And we're back here at Summit High School in Bend, so kind of meeting each other halfway as the Vikings have come over from Eastern Oregon. For those not familiar, Vale, almost as far east, Mark, as you can get in Oregon and still be in it.
Yeah, it really is. And if you look at it, it's right where, I think, is that I-84 crosses the river?
Mm-hmm.
Over into the Snake River, that is, over into Idaho. So Vale not very far from that location. And we've been over there a time or two. Like you said, this has been somewhat of a long-distance rivalry between these two powerhouse football teams here in the state of Oregon.
Well, you know, and we were talking earlier about the strength of the Vale program and talking about how they went into the championship game against league opponent Burns and ended up taking the only loss of the season, kind of an upset win for the Highlanders. But as far as the Challengers go, they ended up starting 1-2, kind of a rough start, a lot of tough games, a lot of road games. And then they kind of figured it out as time went on, replaced a lot of guys from the year before from that state championship winning team. And now it seems like, really, Mark, in terms of what to expect, I think these teams are kind of on equal footing. A lot of them, a lot of newer faces. But this Challenger squad that was so young last year, they still only have 10 upperclassmen.
Yep,
but
still a very young team.
Yeah, but they've got a lot of guys who are sophomores who got significant experience last year. Mikey Covey coming to mind as one possibility, and they'll have several others. And Vale, true to form, got a big-looking squad out there. And the Challengers, well, they counter that with speed. And they got some of the best in that regard.
They really do. And you mentioned it, but you know, all the skill positions for the Challengers back this year. I mean, there's a few exceptions to that, but most all the skilled positions, linebackers, defensive backs, wide receivers, back from last year. So a Challenger team that really the question mark coming into the season, I think, is the offensive line.
Right,
and a little bit of the defensive line too.
Mm-hmm.
So those are the two areas that we'll get to see if the Challengers have filled those holes with this version of Cascade Christian. But looks like the Challengers are going to receive the opening kickoff, and we'll get to see that offense right away. It always seems early in the season that the defenses are a little bit ahead of the offenses. So I'm curious to see if that's the case here as we start this one.
And we certainly saw that in the matchup between these two teams to open things. I know people I talked to said that Vale offensively got a lot better as the season went on and became a more balanced team. The Challengers kind of sputtered, only scoring 6 points in week 1. We're expecting things to be a little bit different this year. The Challengers are in their road white uniforms with purple numerals. Vale in their home black. They're the designated home team with white numerals. Back deep to receive for the Challengers is Bryson Walker and Caleb Scaglione. Both of them. And we're talking again. Walker was not a part of that 4x100 relay team, but there is a lot of speed on this Challenger squad, and a couple of those guys that fill that bill are back deep to take the kick. End over end kick. That's going to land in the arms of Walker. Walker crosses the 35-yard line up to the 40. There's a flag down. Walker outrunning the posse and pending the flag, touchdown. But, Mark, I have a suspicion this might be coming back.
Yeah, usually does on a kick return. Now let's see what the flag's about here. Usually a block in the back is usually what it is.
But right up from the get-go, if you're not familiar with the speed of Bryson Walker, you see it right there. I'd love to see a foot race between he and Derek Farmer, who won the 100 and 200 state championships last year.
Yeah, I'll bet you they're pretty close. Walker, a lot of speed there. So looks like that it's a hold against the Challenger. So that'll be a 15-yarder, and that'll bring the ball back about to the 25, I think. Well, no, about to the 20-yard line here.
So let's go ahead and meet the starting offense for Cascade Christian. And it'll go as follows. Derek Farmer at quarterback. He'll be joined in the backfield by Bryson Walker. The receivers, Caleb Scaglione, Caleb Parker, Alex Fianaka, and Mikey Covey. We'll get the offensive line after the snap.
Interesting defense I'm seeing Vale in. They're daring the Challengers to throw the football right now.
Farmer clapping his hands together, wide left. Now they throw right side to Caleb Parker. Parker wore 11 last year. Now he's wearing number 1. Now let's go ahead and get to that offensive line for the Challengers. And a new look line. Blake Pateru at tackle. Brady Dorner at guard. Tucker Maben at center. Joey Menard III. Right guard. Right tackle is Wyatt Hurley.
And you could see that time that the Challengers saw Vale in their sort of, I would call their 4 linebacker package and not covering the outside receivers, and just threw the ball out there for an easy 11-yard gain.
1st and 10, some pressure, and Farmer gets rid of the pass. Pass complete to Bryson Walker. He'll have it completed out to the 42-yard line after a short pickup on the play. Let's go ahead and get the defense for you. And defensively, Vale up front, Wyatt Cox, Calvin Longoni, and Rye Cummings. And again, we'll go ahead after get the rest of the defense for you after we get this snap. 2nd down and 3 after the pickup of 7. Hand off, the little fly sweep action. There is Caleb Scaglione. He'll pick up 1st down yardage as he crosses midfield down to about the 48-yard line.
Yeah, first running play for the Challengers. Picks up about 8 yards and a 1st down.
Wright Cummings is a linebacker along with Tate Cook, Connor Price, Thomas Rodriguez, and Brody McElroy. 5 linebackers set. Then we have Cannon Hyatt, Maddox Hartley, Troy Dayton, and Colin Mulvaney is the other defensive end. Under center, actually, it's Farmer in the shotgun. Now he's being joined in the backfield. And we'll give it to Walker. Walker's going to take it to the outside. Have a flag coming in kind of late on the play, which sometimes suggests to me, Mark, that might be a defensive foul.
I don't know. It's kind of in the area on the edge, which makes me think it's a hold, but let's see. Personal foul. Oh, hey, you're right. Hands to the face on the defense.
We'll just, well, you know what they say, Mark, a broken clock is right twice a day.
There you go.
So, penalty called, and here a little bit of displeasure. We've got a good vocal Viking fan base here, and you can tell they're not real happy about it as the ball makes its way down to the 31.
That's a 15-yarder, so gives the Challengers their third first down here on this drive.
So Challengers off to a good start. Moving the ball efficiently. What, Mark? They've probably got at least about 50, 60 yards of offense already.
Yep.
Farmer. And he had Covey in the backfield with him. Rolling out to his right, Farmer. He's going to go ahead and take off, and he'll work the ball down to about the 25, about 26-yard line. Thomas Rodriguez making the stop. And a pickup of 6 on the play will make it a 2nd down and 4.
Yeah, nice job mixing up the plays here. 16 yards rushing, 18 yards passing, plus that 15-yard penalty so far on this drive for the Challengers as they're moving their way down the field.
Walker, along with Farmer, everybody's in tight except for we have a wide out to the right, Caleb Parker. And the Challengers on 2nd down. Going to go to the ground game. Walker, looks like he picked up a couple of yards on the play to bring up 3rd down and a manageable. Yeah, call it a 3rd and 2. That sounds about right to me. And Challengers, and there are always a lot of interesting decisions in high school football, that they may see this as 4-down territory.
Well, and if I know the Challengers, they're going to power quarterback run to the right here, or maybe to the left, depending on what they feel like they got the most advantage doing. But we'll see.
4 receivers set, Covey in motion, Walker in the backfield along with Farmer. They'll hand to Walker, and Walker down to the 20 as the Challengers move in on the red zone.
Yeah, he needed 2 and he got 4. Little surprise there because last year we saw a lot of power quarterback run in that short yardage situations. So Challengers showing you right here, they've added to their arsenal a little bit offensively.
One of the things that'll be interesting to watch with Farmer in an article that was on the Rogue Valley Times yesterday, Coach Gatman really talking about, and we always see this with Challenger quarterbacks, the longer they stay in the system, the better they get at reading a play, and their decision-making gets all the better. And so far, so good in this game.
Yeah, we talked about that a lot with Challenger quarterbacks, the key to the offense being the quarterback.
And now Farmer gets away, and there's the speed on display. About 4.5 speed and a state champion in the 100 and 200-yard dash at the Oregon 3A track meet last spring.
Picks up about 8 yards there on 1st down on the scramble.
And the thing you always know about the Challengers with the spread offense, it's a quarterback-centric system, and there's very few athletes I can think of better for the job than Farmer.
There's always going to be somebody open. You just got to find the right guy, and you make your right reads, you'll find the right guy, and that's what Getman's talking about when he talks about reading.
Now, a little swing pass out to Scaglione. He slips a tackler, gets inside the 10, works it down to the 8-yard line. I mean, it's kind of a pick your poison. We see Seth Scaglione, number 11 in the lineup. He's a guy that I know has bided his time on the JV, and he would be a guy I wouldn't be half surprised if we might see him earn some snaps at quarterback. Now we're down to a 1st and goal for the Challengers, but out of the lineup is Jacob Beamish for the first game of the season. Ball down at the 8-yard line. Challengers on the move. Opening drive. 6:35 left to go in the first quarter. In motion, Caleb Scaglione. They'll hand to Walker. What a move there. He keeps his feet, powers it in. Touchdown, Challengers.
8-yard touchdown by Walker, and he made a couple of nice cuts in the hole to get away from those linebackers and find his way into the end zone.
So definitely a different, you may recall last year opening up, the Challengers just kind of sputtered. I think some would say probably Cascade a little intimidated by a Vale Viking team that was very senior heavy. They knew what they could do because of the matchup from the year before. But this time, Challengers looking good. And into attempt the point after, a guy that I know has really worked on his kicking game over the offseason. Here is Alex Fianaka. No slouch for an athlete himself, part of that 4x100 relay team.
I think he's going to see a little action at DN today, right?
That would be my anticipation. His kick is up, and it is good. Challengers strike pay dirt on their first series. 7-0 ball game. Vale will have their opportunity right after this.
Diverse venues, we got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
6:20 to go in the first quarter of play here at Summit High School, where the Vale Vikings and the Cascade Christian Challengers are underway. 6:20 to go in the quarter, and the Challengers scoring on an 8-yard run by Bryson Walker. Getting ready to kick it away will be Alex Fianaka. And then back deep to receive. Looks like we've got Maddox Hartley back there. And I also believe we might have Cannon Hyatt.
Oh, my goodness. He just made a field goal on the kickoff.
I think the hard work paid off.
My goodness, that ball was really drilled.
Oh, man.
I mean, it landed 5 yards out of the back of the end zone.
Well,
and there's a little bit of a breeze maybe going that way, helping him, but not a lot.
No.
He just got all of it.
Well, let's go ahead and take a look at the starting lineup for the Vale Vikings. We'll wait till after this play. Thomas Rodriguez, wearing number 1 in the backfield. He'll take the opening handoff. He'll work the left side. Stop made there by Mikey Covey. And here's the offense for you for Vale. Quarterback Cal Johnson, just a sophomore. Rodriguez in the backfield, along with Tate Cook. We'll see a lot of him. 2 receivers, Cannon Hyatt and Maddox Hartley. Tight end is Troy Dayton. We'll get the offensive line after this play. 2nd down and 7 after the pickup of 3. Mikey Covey. And I tell you what, Mark, I remember last year that as a freshman, he picked up the game at this level quickly.
Well, and unfortunately for Troy Dayton, Cal Johnson. I think Cal Johnson was in the quarterback position that time. It was a bad snap. He kind of fumbled the snap, and by the time he got it, collected it, Michael Covey was
all over it.
All over him. So loss of 3, on the play.
And a 3rd down and 10. And we've got Tate Cook lined up in the backfield, dropping back to throw as Johnson completes the pass. There with the coverage for the Challengers, bringing him down, Seth Scaglione.
Little whip route that time by Hartley, but as you mentioned, right there on the coverage for the Challengers, doing a great job of staying with him, Seth Scaglione. So that'll bring up 4th down and 8.
4:45 left to go in the first quarter of play. Cal Johnson, the quarterback, will get ready to kick it away to Caleb Scaglione, the senior. Only 10 upperclassmen on this Challenger squad. So it's still, as you mentioned earlier, Mark, it's still a young team.
It really is. There's a lot of, and very, there's a limited number of seniors, too, for the Challengers.
Getting ready to kick it away. Johnson, kind of a low line drive kick that's going to take a few Viking bounces. Scaglione ends up losing the handle on it, but he was out of bounds first.
Yeah, he really was. He pretty much caught it and stepped out of bounds. So the Challengers take over with really good field position at the 38.
Stay tuned at halftime for stats and updates brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. Fall Activities Guide is out now with sports leagues, classes, and activities for all. Visit playmedford.com to learn more. I tell you what, this summer went fast.
Yes, it really did. 10-play opening drive for the Challengers, covered about 65 yards, and that touchdown run of 8 yards by Walker, and the Challengers 3 and out on defense. Nice job by the defense, and now back on the field offensively, Cascade Christian.
Slot receiver to the left side, that is Bryson's little brother, Hutton Walker. And I know you've said a lot of positive things to me about Hutton as a basketball player.
Yeah, really fun to see him at Oregon camp as a freshman, kind of dealing with different situations that were going on there.
Some good pressure there defensively. We see in there for the Vikings, Troy Dayton running in on it. And that ends up wounded ducking its way to the turf to bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, it looked like Farmer's arm got hit as he was trying to release that one. He's shaking it out a little bit out there. Don't think it's going to bother him too much, but definitely took a shot to his arm as he was trying to throw the football down the field.
2nd down and 10. Challengers at their own 37-yard line, leading in the game with 4:08 to go in the first. 7-0.
Well, and you can see there's a lot of Vale Vikings in the box.
And Farmer has Caleb in motion. Farmer going to take off and run. A little juke and works his way down the left sideline, gets it past midfield. And I tell you what, this young man's going to be a headache for opposing defenses all year long. He can run, he can throw. There's really not much he can't do. Coming out of the Challenger lineup is Nathan Cool, the freshman, reserve lineman. And the line for the Challengers, a lot of youth along that line, but a lot of potential as well. It always seems like the coaches do a great job, Coach Seeley and some of the assistants and Coach Sean, getting these guys raised up.
Yeah, it's always good to see how much improvement we see with that offensive line over the course of the season.
Farmer hands it off.
I think that's Covey, isn't it? Right.
I think
ahead.
he took it. He didn't see many snaps on the offensive side last year, but that's going to be a change this year. You get the feeling that early on for Coach Gutman, his rotations are going to be tight. He's got a bevy of players in the junior varsity ranks. But I think these guys, who are still young, I think he wants to get them as much experience as humanly possible. 2nd down and 9, 3:26 to go with the clock running here. First quarter. Farmer rolling out to his right, looking downfield, has a man, flag on the play.
I bet this one's coming back. I think that's a hold.
Pass complete to Caleb Parker, and again, this team, Mark, and maybe the guy who's going to be the biggest home run threat is not suited up today in Jacob Beamish, but we're seeing once again that Farmer's not bashful about throwing it around the yard and getting it to a variety of targets.
I agree with you 100%. And a lot of these guys played at least some last year.
Right.
Challengers are picking up a holding penalty here, as I suspected, based on where that flag was thrown. So now it's going to be 2nd down and 20 for Cascade Christian. And typically we'll see one of those screen packages in this situation, bubble, tunnel, some sort of a screen. Let's see what they run here.
The Scagliones. Now, these two are cousins, right? It's Caleb and
Yes.
Seth. So you got the cousins there to the left. Out wide right is Parker. And they're going to go ahead and throw it. The ball is tipped up in the air, and it is picked off. Interception. And the Vikings capitalize and have great field position as they take over offensively.
Just into Challenger territory at the 49. So the first turnover of the game, an interception by Derek Farmer on a tipped ball. A lot of traffic in that area where he threw that, so not super surprised that it got intercepted.
First down carry by Rodriguez. Rodriguez grinds his way forward, works it down to the 45. Now let's go ahead and get that offensive line for the Vikings. Over at tackle, you got Calvin Longoni. Guard is Wyatt Cox. Center is Jesus Perez. Wyatt Stoneman at right guard. And Colin Mulvaney over on the right side. Second down and 6 on the play. And nothing happening on that play. Wrapping up, it's looked like Wyatt Hurley. And looking at
and Tucker Maben in there, too, for the Challengers.
The Challengers' new starting nose tackle. And the Challenger defense looks as follows. Alex Fianaka, Tucker Maben, and Blake Patero up front. Linebackers Covey, Parker, Hurley, and Scaglione. Caleb Scaglione, Bryson Walker, Derek Farmer, and Jackson Freilich in the secondary.
And there's a hold, I think, on Vale.
Going out to the right side. And, of course, no real surprise here, Mark, as we know that we're going to see our share of mistakes made in opening week.
Interesting decision here for Coach Getman with this play. Jim, real quick. It's going to be 4th and 5, or it's going to be 3rd and 13. Looks like Coach Getman is going to take the penalty. So it'll be 3rd down. Well, 3rd down and about 16, I think. So anyway, he decides to take the penalty. Sorry about that. I just was curious as to how he was going to approach that because he could have made it 4th and 5.
Right. Well, I think that suggests some confidence in your defense that they'll make a stop here and it'll be a 4th down. And if they do their job successfully, that they'll be further back. Right now, Johnson trying to elude trouble. His pass is complete, but short of the first down.
There's another flag.
Making the catch for the Vikings is Troy Dayton.
Let's see what the penalty is. Oh, legal touching. So I think that's a loss of down too. In other words, there was an illegal formation, which means that the guy who caught the ball was covered by another player. And so technically he's not an eligible receiver. And because their formation was incorrect, now that brings up 4th down after the penalty.
So that gives us a 4th down and 17 as Johnson gets ready to send his second kick of the day away. Back deep to receive is Caleb Scaglione. He'll field it, runs out to his right to the far sideline. Looks like he gets across the 40 down to about the 43.
So a nice punt return.
So Challengers come away with excellent field position and thwart the opportunity presented by the Vikings on the Challenger turnover.
Yeah, nice job by that Challenger defense of covering up that interception, not letting Vale get some points on the board because of it. And we'll see if the offense can get back in rhythm here. Kind of lost a little bit of that rhythm with that interception.
Into the Challenger lineup, Hutton Walker in a slot. You got Caleb Scaglione to his left. Pair of receivers to the Challenger right. Farmer. First down play, they'll hand it to Walker. And looks like some good push there by the Challenger line on the right side.
3 yards. 42 seconds here to go in the quarter.
Challengers lead 7-0. Their third drive of the game. First resulted in a touchdown. The second in a turnover. Farmer out of the gun. And they'll hand to Walker. Little razzle-dazzle there, and Walker crosses midfield just a wee bit short of the first down.
Yeah, and a nice job by him of making a cut just as he got past the line of scrimmage that cut it back inside and got a nice gain, about 5 yards. Brings up 3rd and 2. And that's going to be the last play of the first quarter.
So after one, it's Cascade Christian 7, the Vale Vikings nothing. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back in 1 minute here on TableRockSports.net.
That's a tough change for the ref.
It's game time. And there's only one thing that makes it all possible. Refs.
We're looking for people like you.
Former athletes.
Parents.
Community members.
Anyone who can manage the game and stick with it.
But we need more heroes and stripes. People like you.
Join the team and keep sports alive.
Play ball.
Because no ref, no game.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Thank you to our sponsors for making tonight's coverage possible, including the Lithia Superstore on Highway 62, your home for Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Fiat vehicles and trucks. Our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore. 3rd down and 2 as we open the second quarter. And Farmer has some blocking, but one snuck through there to make the play defensively for the Vale Vikings. Tackle him in the backfield, linebacker Connor Price. Loss of, well, looks like from here about 3 on the play.
Yeah, lost 3 yards on the play. And I'm sure if it was 4th and 1, they might think about it, but it's 4th and 5 now. And so the Challengers are going to punt the football.
And coming in to kick will be Alex Fianaka. So far, he's been right on the money in terms of his work with the foot. And here's the punt, kind of wobbly.
Got partially
and out
blocked.
Of bounds.
Partially blocked right there by number 50. And Wyatt Cox getting through. And you can see some of the line issues we discussed that could be problems for the Challengers when we did the pregame here a little bit ago. We're seeing some of that on those last 2 plays with free rushers heading into the backfield. That one, the punt blocked, and the play before, Derek Farmer really not a chance to get going on that running play to try and pick up that first down. First quarter stats, 82 total yards for Cascade to just 6 yards on offense for Vale in that first quarter.
Making the reception from Johnson, but not getting very far, Kellen Hartley, 5'10", 155-pound junior. And once again, a lot of players out for the Vikings for football. Although, as you mentioned, Mark, we don't see, I don't think, nearly as many of them out on the sideline this evening. But they've got some depth, they've got some experience, and they've got some power. Johnson taking the snap. He's going to take off and run with it. But right there to tie him up is Caleb Parker. Parker, one of those guys that I think really had a coming out in his junior year last year, especially on the defensive side. But he's also been a playmaker offensively, and of course they'll need that and more from him this year. But a good play by Caleb.
Yeah, nice job that time of flying up to the ball from his linebacker spot and holding him to a 1-yard gain.
3rd down and 8. Johnson dropping back, looking to throw. The pass complete. Making the catch is...
And there's a holding penalty.
Cannon Hyatt, flag on the play. And one would tend to think, yes, that this will be coming back. So, and of course, in terms of looking at those starters for Vale. It looks like, not unlike the Challengers, you have a mix. Of course, the Vikings, a very senior-laden team last year. But a good blend of experience along with youth. And the penalty being walked off against the Vikings. This will make it a third and you're going to take it back to the 35. Take it, actually, that's what the flag is.
I think it's a 15-yarder, so it should take it back to about the 25, 26. There we go, 26. So 15 yards against Vale brings up third down and very long now.
9:51 to go in the half. Dayton in the backfield along with Johnson. Johnson dropping back, looking to throw. He has a man open, but the pass falls to the turf, incomplete, and it'll bring up fourth down. So it'll be a fourth down and
25, and I would imagine that Vale's going to punt the football here. So we've seen a little bit of a defensive first half, which is kind of what you usually expect for first games of the year. Usually the defenses are ahead of the offenses at the beginning of the season. We see that quite often, especially in high school football, where it takes a little while. You can't really simulate, especially with smaller schools, the speed of the defense you're going to play, and so the offense that you play is a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And so we're kind of seeing that so far. Both teams kind of feeling each other out offensively, and the defenses are winning most battles so far.
So it'll bring up a first down and 10 for the Challengers as Walker lets it roll, and on what can sometimes be troublesome turf, a wise move in that regard. The Challengers will have the ball at their own 33-yard line, leading in the game, as you can see on our John L. Scott scoreboard, 7-0. Got 9:29 left to go in the half, so still plenty of football. Bryson Walker scoring on the opening drive of the game. An 8-yard dash. Covey in motion to the left side. Rolling to his right is Farmer. Farmer getting some pursuit and looking downfield, and
wisely
he's going to go ahead
just
and throw
throwing that
away.
thing away.
Pressure there defensively from the Vikings. Colin Mulvaney from his defensive end position. And that's the name of the game. Even if you can't bring him down, just make him, force him into a decision he doesn't want to make.
Legal man downfield against the Challengers. See if they want to take that. They are going to take it. It's a 5-yard penalty. I always wonder about whether you should, on first down the ball's incomplete anyway. Should you take it? Apparently that Vale has deciding to take that. So far a lot of penalties in this game too. Just we're not even at halftime. Vale with 3, the Challengers with 4, and
well, what was it against Henley a few years ago? Mark, you and I saw 23 accepted penalties on an opening week game.
Yeah, and we know the teams are a little rough usually the first week, but so far a lot of flags flying.
Farmer out of the shotgun. And Walker in motion, but Farmer going to take off and run with it. He gets some running room to the left side, crosses the 35-yard line, gets up to about the 37.
Gets the penalties yards back, and then some, about 7 on the play. Gives the Challengers second down and 8.
$9:16 left to go in the half. Over to the right side, we've got Fianaka in a slot. He gives Farmer a sizable target. Caleb Parker split out wide. Coming in motion, Caleb Scaglione. Little pump fake, and there, pass complete. First down yardage for Parker. Parker lowers the shoulder, gets across midfield.
16 yards on the pass completion. Nice job that time by Farmer. He wanted to throw the ball out in the flat, but he saw that it was covered, and so Parker settles down in the middle of the zone there and he's wide open. And a good read by Farmer. Nice throw, 16-yard completion for first down for Cascade.
Walker will check in as Parker checks out for a breather. Hutton will join on the right side along with Caleb Scaglione. And they got Covey in kind of a H-back spot there. Farmer along with Bryson Walker. Snap. Farmer quickly gets rid of it, finds a man. Caleb Scaglione had to make a quick decision there. Successful.
Yeah, I don't like throwing that ball to the short side of the field. A lot of traffic over there when you throw it to the short side of the field. Would have loved to have seen that to the wide side of the field, where you got a little more room to run it. But Challengers pull it off and get 4 yards out of it.
8:38 left to go in the half. And Walker, Hutton over on the right side along with Caleb Scaglione. It's going to take me a little getting used to have another Walker to talk about.
Exactly.
Farmer. Hands to Bryson Walker. Bryson Walker has first down yardage and more. He crosses the 25-yard line down near the red zone, out of bounds at the 22. Tricky part about him, I think back to Oregon State player of days gone by, Jaquiz Rogers, and
yeah,
he would be across the line of scrimmage before you could find him.
Yeah. And that time Walker bounces. That play was designed to go in between the tackle and the tight end, but he bounced it outside, got around the edge, and was able to pick up 18 yards and a Challenger first down.
Two receivers to the right. Covey.
And Getman wants a timeout.
And Coach Getman going to talk things over with his crew. We've got 8:11 left to go in the first half of play. Challengers lead 7-0. We'll be back right after these messages.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This has been my profession for 30 plus years now. I really love my work. We try to source as many ingredients as we can, as local as possible, like local fruits and vegetables. We have a menu like you would find in any nice restaurant. We don't make it until you order it, so everything will be coming out fresh. We do have wonderful desserts here as well. Every day you have 5 or 6 options as far as a fresh dessert go. People are bringing their friends and family and wanting to show off what we have here to offer.
Come take a tour of Twin Creeks and meet our award.
Working our way through the second quarter of play. Challengers on the move. First down and 10 at the 22 of the Vikings.
8 minutes to go here in the second quarter. And Challengers' 5th drive of the game.
Farmer drops back. Looks right. Downfield looking for Caleb Scaglione. Looked like from here he made the catch.
And we had a foot out of bounds. He caught the ball, but he landed on the white line in the back of the end zone.
So that pass incomplete officially to make it a second down and 10. But again, you like first down. I like the idea of taking a shot.
Not a bad time to take one, and nice catch, too, by Scaglione. Just not enough end zone there for him to get that foot down into.
Second and 10. Covey's in the backfield now. And split out wide to the left is Seth Scaglione. Parker and Caleb Scaglione to the right. And Covey with the football. Big dude. And he runs it right. Picks up some good yardage for the Challengers. Looks like he's close to a first down.
I think he's a couple yards short, I think. It's hard to tell. He knocked over the thing, so they're trying to figure it out. Looks like he's, he's a couple yards short, so give him 8 yards.
Always good to have some depth and options. Fianaka lined up as a tight end to the left side. Covey remains in the backfield along with Farmer. Got everything all lined up. And Farmer going to left. He'll pick up the first down and a little bit more as he gets inside the 10 to set up a 1st and goal. So Challengers here looking to extend the lead, and with this Vale program, the quality of it, you know that one score lead is not really a safe one.
No, it really isn't, and the Challengers have done a good job on this drive of running the ball and throwing it.
Challengers with, looks like we still got Covey there in the backfield. Farmer takes the snap, hands it off. Covey breaks the 5-yard line down inside to about the 3. So that'll bring up a 2nd down and goal for the Challengers as Covey taking advantage of his opportunity to show what he can do.
Unofficially, I have the Challengers at 100 yards rushing on that carry here in the first half. Bryson Walker back in the game, it looks like.
He returns as Covey comes out after doing quite nicely. Now he's going to go ahead and line up as a slot on the right side. Split out wide right is Caleb Parker. Man in motion, Caleb Scaglione. And he'll carry the football, breaks inside, breaks it to the end zone.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Challenger.
5-yard touchdown run for Caleb Scaglione. Puts the Challengers back on the board.
13-0 your score thus far. Scored with 6:58 left to go in the first half of play. Opening season game of the season for the Challengers and the Vikings. Challengers looking to avenge a 29-6 loss suffered here at this venue this time last year. Alex Fianaka coming in out of the hold of Caleb Scaglione. And it looks like the center, Tucker Maben, also serving for long snapping duties.
And they're going to call, I think he moved the football. I think he kind of lost control of it. It's going to be a 5-yard penalty against the Challengers.
So, Fianaka, a little bit more room to work from what we've seen so far. Well within his range. Don't think it's going to add too much degree of difficulty. Snap a little bit high. And now with the football is Caleb Scaglione. He's going to run to his left. He's looking for the pylon.
And he
got it. Challengers with the 2-point conversion on a broken play. That gives them a 2-score lead plus a point. And now we will take a timeout. And when we return, we'll be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
For over 50 years, each day has started with a smile, a helping hand, and a promise to be there when you need us most. Delivering on that promise are our hard-working, dedicated employees. At Sherms, we're proud to be an essential part of our community and look forward to keeping our selection, quality, and value where our customers deserve for many years to come. Sherms Food for Less and Thunderbird Market.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Back here at Summit High School, 6:58 to go, 15-0 Challengers lead on opening week. And week in, week out, we'll be bringing you Challenger football coverage on Table Rock Sports. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore on the camera, Colton Treadway. And Challengers.
Colton, very thankful for the few clouds that we've had here.
Oh, absolutely.
That's for sure.
Absolutely.
That we see every time we lose a cloud for 5 minutes, it seems like the next one comes in. So we're very happy. Us too, for that matter, because that sun's shining right in the window here where we're trying to do the game from. So, and a little bit of a breeze every now and then that just knocked the football over, also helping us to stay a little bit cooler.
Hey, and a shout-out to the athletic director at Summit High, Quinn McAndrews, new to the role over here, making sure that we were welcomed and set up for what we needed to do the game. Always appreciate that. Nice, high, long kick. And once again, Fianaka with some juice.
Oh, and some height. That thing had some height on it, too. So, a very nice kick by Fianaka. Even if that could have been returned, it wouldn't have gone very far because it was had nice and high, and the Challengers had a chance to run down and cover it.
Challengers getting set to line up defensively. Johnson leading the Vikings out onto the field. Rodriguez in the backfield along with him. First down play. Johnson with the keeper, and Challenger swarm.
He is going nowhere on that one. He's going to lose a couple of yards.
In the Challenger lineup, up front defensively, Nathan Cool.
Just 12 yards of offense so far for Vale. That Challenger defense has been very good here in this first half.
So Cool's in as a nose tackle, moving Maben to the outside. And then we've got a flag on the play.
Usually that's a false start. Nope, it's going to be offsides against the Challengers. The Challengers racking up the penalties here. 40 yards in penalties. 5 penalties for 40 yards here in the first half. And that's one thing Coach Getman will not be happy about.
No. They'll give them something to work on this week as they get ready for their first home game coming up on Friday night out at Lithia Driveway Field number 10, otherwise known as Gary Wheeler Field. First down and 13. Johnson hands to Rodriguez. Rodriguez gets a little bit of running room. Has a gain on the play, and there to make the tackle for Cascade Christian. Yep.
Derek Farmer there for the Challengers, coming up from his safety spot and making a good play.
Also see Rowan Erickson in there. I believe he's the guy that you saw on the basketball team at the JV level.
Very good kid.
And he's another guy that can pick up and run. Second down and 6 for the Vikings. Dropping back is Johnson. Johnson's going to air it out a little bit, but overthrows his intended target. Looking downfield and had some room there. And he was looking in the direction of
Hartley, I think.
Maddox Hartley.
Ball a little bit overthrown, but for good reason. The Challengers, nice coverage down the field that time. Hartley really was not open. I think Johnson just trying to get rid of that football and thought, well, maybe if I throw it far enough, somehow Hartley will run underneath it. But good coverage, as I mentioned.
Getting ready to kick it away quickly is Johnson. The Vikings get a couple of favorable bounces on it. Nonetheless, the Challengers, after the defensive stand, end up with a favorable spot on the field as they'll take over on offense for their third series of the game. 2 scores and an interception. Before or after the game is a great time to visit Dutch Bros and enjoy your favorite beverage. Dutch Bros supports the communities that support them. And for over 30 years, there's no better place after the game than Abby's Pizza. Make new memories at Abby's.
5:08 left to go here in the second quarter. Challengers lead at 15-0.
15 to 0. 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 Own 35-yard line. Twin receivers out to the right. Single wide to the left. They'll hand it off. And powering up the middle.
Bryson Walker, I'm pretty sure.
He'll pick up close to 3 yards on the play. And again, you wouldn't think that this would be a guy, but it tells you he's got some strength in that diminutive package. 155 pounds, and now it's a second and manageable for the Challengers. Farmer out of the gun. Looks left. And looking in the direction of Seth Scaglione.
Seth running a little 5-yard out, but unfortunately Farmer did not get the ball to him. He kind of, one of those where you kind of got the tip of the football down. If you've ever thrown a football, you get it down, it really can't go very far, and he just threw it into the turf. Incomplete.
3rd down and 7 with 4:28 to go in the first half of play. Had some Southern Oregon action last night on Table Rock Sports, including a Marshfield victory over Crater, and South Medford ending up on the short end of the stick last night as well at Spiegelberg. Bryson Walker making his way into the backfield. Hands it off for Walker. Walker keeps his feet and picks up first down yardage.
Walker leads the defense for a gain of about 9 yards.
Nice pickup on the play as the Challengers move the sticks with 4:18 and counting to go in the first half. That Challenger offensive line, we're talking about a lot of new faces up there. Sophomore Tucker Maben at center. He's up there along with Hurley, who's a returning starter. Pataroo. Farmer going to take off to his left, heads toward the sideline, just short of midfield. Looks like he might have picked up maybe a yard or two on the play.
Yeah, give him a couple.
Keeping the defense honest.
3:39 to go. Clock stopped with Farmer going out of bounds there. Challengers have the football at, you can see it about the 49-yard line, their own 49. 2nd down and 8.
Farmer with Walker in the backfield with him. Farmer dropping back, looking straight downfield, getting some pressure, completes the pass to Parker. Parker took a couple of steps back, trying to regain momentum, and he is taken down. Good play defensively by the Vikings.
Yeah, he actually lost a couple of yards.
So it'll be a 3rd down and long for the Challengers.
So far, the Challenger passing game hasn't been up to normal, what we've normally seen from them. They've had trouble getting the ball down the field. A lot of that's due to Vale. Vale's done a good job of covering receivers and putting pressure on the quarterback so far in this one. And you can see here again, they've loaded the box, so hopefully the Challengers got something that it's going to get out of his hand quickly. And Getman's going to take his 2nd time out.
All right, well, he's going to go ahead and take a timeout, and this will give us answers. Today's game is brought to you by the Southern Oregon Sports Commission's Know Your Role campaign, promoting respectful behavior at youth sporting events, and by Hart Insurance, providing personal and business coverage in Grants Pass and Medford. Opening week, and again, week by week throughout the season, we'll be We'll be handling the coverage for the Cascade Christian Challengers. Mark, can you believe it? This is our 16th season of working together, and overall my 17th.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and the Challengers have had some really good runs over those seasons, that's for sure. You mentioned those 5 state championship runs. Most of those were under our time here.
Yes.
And that's been just fabulous to see those teams, some great challenger football teams in that group of teams.
Well, you know, one of the things I see, and the same applies on the Vale side of the ball, that the programs that stay on top, they have coaching, culture, and consistency. And, of course, we've seen a little bit of a changing of the guard. Jeff Aldred taking over the program a few years back, but it just keeps right on trucking after he took over for Coach Hartley. And it's a proud tradition of football in Eastern Oregon, in the community of Vale. Farmer looking downfield, and
I think he picked the wrong Scaglione that time.
I believe you're right.
I mean, he had Seth wide open at the first down marker on the sideline, and unfortunately, double covered over the middle was Caleb, and he threw the football to Caleb. He's going to have to make that adjustment, and I'm sure the coaches are going to talk to him about that because Seth was open for the first down. Unfortunately for the Challengers, play missed, and now they're going to have to punt the football.
4th down and 9. Alex Fianaka getting set to kick it away.
2:42 left to go here in the first half.
Maddox Hartley, the return man for the Vikings. Line drive kick, rolls on the turf, and wise move there by Hartley because now the Vikings are at the 20.
Yep.
And I think that it would have probably been more than they would have been able to get out of return.
Absolutely. That was a good decision by him to give a decent starting field position, at least here for Vale, instead of having them pinned back inside their 10.
2:34 left to go in the half. Plenty of time for the Vikings to put up their first score of the evening. But thus far, the yardage has been tough to come by for Vale.
It really has. Just 13 yards of offense for Vale so far in this football game, as the Challenger defense has been very stingy.
And for the Vikings, Kellen Hartley setting up wide left. Troy Dayton in a tight end spot. Here, the carry by Tate Cook, wearing number 33. 205 pounds. It seems like that's going to be kind of a thunder and lightning theme with Rodriguez at 5'8", 180 pounds. And then with Cook, you're talking about a kid out of the backfield at 6 foot, 205. Meanwhile, catch to Hartley. Big reception, flips position. And it's down to the 35 with 2:07 left to go in the half.
37 yards on the reception. Big play. Only big play so far of the game for Vale.
2 men in the backfield, and they'll do a lot of that old school pro-style set. They'll hand the football off, and doing a good job of keeping his feet, Rocco Schaefer. Schaefer, another powerfully built back at 5'9", 200 pounds, gets the ball down to the 28-yard line. Pickup of about 7 on the play.
And Vale making a good effort here to try and get some points on the board before half. And that long pass play was the first down of the game for Vale.
Kind of an offset I formation, dropping back. Johnson looking to throw, looking in the direction of Schaefer, but that's going to end up falling to the turf.
A nice job by Tucker Maben of putting a hit on the quarterback as he tries to get rid of that football.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down. And we'll call it about 3.
Yeah, and I'm sure Vale doesn't pick it up here. They're going to go for it on 4th down. So if I'm the Challengers, I want to make sure they don't take a shot at the end zone here because it'd be a perfect place to do it.
Little swing pass, caught, 1st down yardage, out of bounds. Goes Kellen Hartley, and that'll bring up a Viking 1st down. Ball now down at the 23.
1:11 to go here in the half. Clock stopped after the step out of bounds on the last play.
Johnson with the football, going to roll out to his left. Has some pressure. Over on that side, Derek Farmer closing in on Johnson. Throws in the direction of Schaefer. Pass falls incomplete to bring up 2nd down and 10. That'll stop the clock with 1:06 left to go in the half. Challengers love nothing more than to come in and still see that 0 on the left side of the scoreboard.
Absolutely. 2nd and 10 now for Vale as they've started to go to the pass, as you would expect with the clock around a minute to go here.
2nd and 10, and running with the football is Cook. Cook gets up ahead of steam. Slowed by Derek Farmer, but not before a nice pickup on the play. Tate looks like, well, he picked up 1st down yardage is what he did.
Yeah, that's exactly what he did.
First down, and again Cook, and there's a whole host of challengers just inside the 10-yard line, down to about the 8. Bringing back memories of Case Schaffeld, a challenger nemesis of recent vintage.
About 6 yards, that'll bring up 3rd and 4.
So a nice pickup there, and it took a gang of challengers.
Most of the team, I think.
Yeah. So it gets it down to the 8.
34 seconds to go here as Vale takes their first time out. So plenty of time for them inside the red zone here. If you're the Challengers defense, you can see that they've tried to run the football the last couple plays. They still have enough time to run it, because I think this is just their 2nd time out. So should be able to continue to run the football if they want to here. We'll see what they choose to do. But however, you know, considering the clock, you do have to be aware of the pass as well. So you kind of got to cover both options here.
Rodriguez back in the backfield. Schaefer there. Looks like they almost
They
kind of
are
have
in the diesel set.
And taking off and running with it is Johnson, but good defensive pursuit by the challengers. You see Wyatt Hurley there in on the stop. And looked like we might have had Walker and Farmer in the neighborhood, so that'll bring up a 3rd down.
And 8.
And now they're going to throw the football, pass complete to Schaefer.
And it looks like he got the 1st down.
So Freilich couldn't quite hold on to him. Jackson Freilich in the Challengers secondary. And that'll bring it down to the 3, where it'll be a 1st down and goal. The Vikings knocking on the door with 4 seconds left to go. And that's when you realize there's a lot of beef in that backfield.
There really is.
When you have a couple of 200-pounders you can trot out there, along with Rodriguez, who at 180 is no small fry.
No, he is not.
So it'll bring up a 1st and goal at the 3.
First and goal now for Vale.
Johnson, the quarterback. And Cook behind him. Drops back, rolls out. And it's a
touchdown.
Touchdown, Vikings. And making the catch, Troy Dayton, to get his team on the board. So with time running out in the first half, Vale, their first touchdown of the 2024 campaign, a touchdown pass from Johnson to Dayton. Now into attempt the point after will be Calvin Longoni. Longoni's kick is up. And through the uprights, it's good. So that'll take us to the half. And your halftime score, it is Cascade Christian 15, the Vale Vikings 7. We invite you to stick around. Coming up here in a couple of minutes, we'll have the Medford Parks and Recreation halftime report. Give you all the stats and want you to know that the City of Medford is the largest provider of community recreation classes, programs, and sports leagues in Southern Oregon. Check out the fall program guide for hundreds of offerings at playmedford.com. We'll take a timeout, and we'll be back in 2 minutes.
For over 50 years, each day has started with a smile, a helping hand, and a promise to be there when you need us most. Delivering on that promise are our hard-working, dedicated employees. At Sherms, we're proud to be an essential part of our community and look forward to keeping our selection, quality, and value where our customers deserve for many years to come. Sherms Food for Less and Thunderbird Market.
It takes meticulous planning, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
School's back, but this is the kind of math we like. Over 100 slices of pepperoni, one giant Abby's pizza feeds up to 6 hungry people. That's A+ value, toppings to the edge. That's been the Abby's way since forever. Now go do your homework. When someone says, bring home the bacon, we know what they mean. They want Abby's legendary bacon, loaded with country bacon and packed with Canadian bacon. On sale now at abbeys.com. This month, bring home the bacon at family-owned Abby's.
When you work with Hart Insurance Agency, you'll experience the quality service and attention to detail that you'll only find with an independent insurance agency. Hart Insurance Agency was founded in 1947 and is one of the largest independent, locally owned agencies in Southern Oregon, with offices in Grants Pass and Medford. Their experienced team of agents have the knowledge to design, place, and to manage your personal and business insurance plans. Find out more. Visit insurance.com.
And welcome back. Our halftime report brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. The Medford Parks and Recreation Department invites you to check out the Rogue X Aquatics and Event Center. Check for open swim and gym sessions and see events taking place at roguexmedford.com. Come join the fun at Rogue X. Recapping the scoring from the first half. And let me go ahead and pull up that John L. Scott scoreboard for you. You can see Challengers leading 15-7. Challengers scored on their first series of the game. Bryson Walker with an 8-yard touchdown run. Point after attempt by Fianaka Good to make it 7-0. Challengers had a near miss, a turnover on a tip pass, but the defense held true. The Challengers got it back, and they had a nice drive culminating in a 5-yard touchdown run by Caleb Scaglione. The 2-point conversion play by Scaglione, good on a broken play. But the Vikings, with no time left in the first half, got the running game going. I have a feeling we're going to see more of that in the second half. 4-yard touchdown pass, though, from Cal Johnson to Dayton. The point after attempt by Longoni, good, to give us our halftime score of 15-7. Well, Mark, you got some halftime stats ready for us?
I do. The halftime stats look, as you would expect, a little one-sided, but, really, Vale, with that comeback score at the end of the half, got the majority of their yardage on that last drive, really got themselves back in the game here as we head to the second half, down just one score so far in this one. And but statistically, the Challengers really dominated the first half. And if you look at it, we'll look at it as we go along here. Vale in the first half had 5 first downs, and all of them came on that last drive that they had of the football. Johnson in the first half, 6 for 10 for 60 yards, and most of those also coming in that final drive. Rushing for Vale, 12 carries for 38 yards. So if you look at that, they just ran 22 plays in that first half. The Challengers, on the other hand, they ran 27 plays in the first half, or excuse me, 33 plays in the first half. So the Challengers dominated the time of possession, dominated the the amount of plays they ran, but on the scoreboard only up by those 8 points. So a nice job by Vale of coming back there at the end of the second quarter. So total offense for Vale, 98 yards. They had 3 penalties for 35 yards, and that's pretty much the summary of the first half for them. So they had a little under 100 yards, and I'm sure if you told Coach Getman that Vale would have under 100 yards in the first half, he'd be happy with that. But he'd probably be a little disappointed that the Challengers haven't taken more advantage of the opportunities they had to score points in that first half. The Challengers did have the 1 interception by Derek Farmer on their second drive of the game. Luckily, Vale was not able to capitalize on that, but that's the 1 turnover in this football game so far. The Challengers with 10 first downs to just the 5 I mentioned for Vale. Running, Challengers 21 carries for 119 yards, so they did a good job running the football in that first half. Derek Farmer 6 for 12 for 43 yards, and the 1 interception we mentioned. Return yards for Cascade Christian 45. Total offense for the Challengers 207. So 207 for the Challengers, 98 for Vale, and yet again that scoreboard just 1 score apart. 5 penalties for the Challengers also hurt them for 40 yards. And I'm sure the couple of things that are going to be discussed by Cascade in the locker room here at halftime is, we got to make sure we don't let Vale get that momentum back, because they're going to get the kickoff to start this third quarter, and they have an opportunity to get themselves right back in the game. So I think this first couple of drives here of the third quarter are going to be very important for both teams to see how they adjust after a halftime.
Well, one thing for sure, my expectation is we'll be seeing a lot more of Cook and Schaefer in the second half, that they see that those big physical backs might be that missing ingredient that had fueled that late touchdown drive in the second half.
And if you remember right, those guys came in as part of that diesel package.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see if Vale goes back to that diesel package here in the third quarter, or if they go back to their spread.
All right, fans, Road Credit Union is your partner in your financial journey, and they're proud to partner with Table Rock Sports each year to bring you coverage of your favorite teams. And thank you to Avista Utilities in Southern Oregon for over 15 years in support of our local sports coverage. We'll go ahead and take another 2-minute break, then we'll get you ready for the start of the second half. It is the Challengers 15, the Vikings 7. We'll be back for the second half of action coming right up.
The Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Medford Superstore wants to buy your vehicle. So we'll beat any other dealer's offer to buy your vehicle by $500. And if we don't buy your vehicle, we'll fill up your gas tank. Only at Lithia Dodge.
Since 1957, Southern Oregonians have made Lippert's their go-to choice for quality floor coverings. And the reason just might be our 5-diamond service. Southern Oregon's largest inventory of hardwood, waterproof vinyl, carpet, and tile. Experienced professional installation with a lifetime guarantee. Carpet One certified flooring consultants. Free in-home design service. Our beautiful guarantee with no questions asked on product and installation. 5 great reasons to make your next floor covering experience a great one at both Lippert's locations.
The Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Medford Superstore wants to buy your vehicle. So we'll beat any other dealer's offer to buy your vehicle by $500. And if we don't buy your vehicle, we'll fill up your gas tank. Only at Lithia Dodge.
We're just moments away from the start of the second half. The Challengers have emerged from the halftime locker room. As Mark mentioned, the Vikings will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. And right now a little bit of wind in the sails for the Vikings, scoring on their last drive of the second quarter. What might that hold in store in terms of momentum and retaking the upper hand in this ball game so far? The big switch we saw is the more physical running package, Vale, and that had been pretty much in the days when you had guys like Schaffeld and DeVos, players like that in the backfield. That proved to be quite a handful for the smaller challengers and a smaller challengers team, especially right up front, that have guys that are, growing in the experience department.
Well, and you see that diesel package, which, the challengers really have over the years had trouble defending, where you put, you put the two big guys right behind the tackle and the guard in the backfield, and then you just plow ahead on that side of the formation with extra bulk. And we saw that there at the end of the second quarter, right, just prior to the touchdown. That package came out a couple of different times, and the Vikings, with some decent runs, really their only decent running plays of the whole entire first half, came out of that package. So I expect we're going to see that package a bit more. I would also expect that the challengers, having played against it long enough now, are probably talking about some adjustments defensively against it there in the locker room at halftime. So it'll be an interesting, chess match here to start the third quarter and see how that plays out for both teams.
Well, for all the talk about challenger offense over the years, unquestionably one of their hallmarks has been the work of defensive coordinator Mike Shawn, who has been at the helm for quite a while and was regarded as the top assistant football coach in the state of Oregon within the last couple of years. And no doubt if there's a way to stop it from a scheme standpoint, they will find a way to employ it. Then it just becomes a question of, can the players on the field make it work?
Execute it. So we will see here as Vale gets this ball. Hopefully Fianaka can knock it into the end zone and make Vale start from their own 20, but we'll see how that goes as well right here.
Fianaka approaches the ball, and that lands in the back third of the end zone, and, well, that answers that question.
Yeah, and I think that's a good thing for the challengers to not have to deal with a return right here. Get ready to play some defense against this Vale offense. And the one thing we did see out of that diesel package, too, is they threw the ball a couple of times out of it. We didn't see that a lot in the past. So, obviously, Vale making some adjustments to their own package that you don't see a lot. So, hopefully the challengers can guard those receivers down the field as well. And Vale would like nothing better than to get something going here right off the bat. And they're back in their, I would call it their pro set.
Here on first down, they'll hand the ball off. Nothing doing there as the challengers swallow up the attack. Therefore, Cascade Christian. Blake Pateru wearing number 70 for the challengers. He's up there up front along with Maben. And now they're going to go ahead, and slipping through is Schaefer. Eludes a couple of tackles. And Hutton Walker there to slow him up, but not before Schaefer picks up enough to give the Vikings
third down and short.
We'll call it about a third down and say about 3 or 4. Schaefer in the backfield. Also back there is Tate Cook. In motion is Hartley, who's proven to be a dangerous receiver. Dropping back, some pressure there, but the pass complete. First down yardage for the Vikings. With the reception is Kellen Hartley.
And then a head out of bounds on the challengers is going to give him an extra 15 yards right here.
So the call made, and that will add to the yardage total for the Vikings, and hit coming a little bit late.
And that's another penalty on Cascade Christian. That's a big one. That's a first 15-yard penalty for first down.
Here on first down, they'll go ahead and give it to Schaefer. Schaefer slowed up by Fianaka. And
finished off by Scaglione out there, I think, on the edge.
And a loss of 1 on the play to bring up second down on 11. Opening drive of the second half for the Vikings. Taking off and running, a good play there. Johnson selling the fake. Picks up about 9 yards on the play as he gets close to another Viking first down, just short of the 40-yard line.
Challengers back on their heels a little bit here as Vale doing a good job of mixing up the plays.
So a 3rd and 1. Cook in the backfield. Johnson with it. Spins out of 1 tackle. Gets enough to pick up the first down for the Vikings as they cross the 40-yard line.
Yeah, had him in the backfield and could have made that 4th and about 3 or 4, but unfortunately he spins out of it and picks up the first down. The Challengers giving up another first down on a run. And it looks like the Vikings are, going to go with the short passes and runs. That's what they've been. That's kind of what was successful for them in that last drive. And the Challenger defense doesn't look like necessarily it's always ready at the snap.
Johnson throws to his right. Pass complete to Hartley. Hartley runs past the Challenger defender. And he'll cross the 35-yard line. Gets it down to the 32-yard line. So a good little pickup there on first down.
7 yards.
So it'll be a second down and 3. So the Vikings, after scoring at the end of the first half, picking up where they left off. Schaefer now going to line up in a slot. Cook behind him. They'll hand the ball off. Schaefer, but there, chasing him down, is Bryson Walker.
He'll lose a yard.
So that'll bring up about a 3rd down and 4. Got to be thinking here, it's 4-down territory for the Vikings.
Surely is. It's all the way down to the Challenger 32.
And they've got a little bit of momentum going for them as well.
And if you're the Challengers here, watch the quarterback keep or the short pass that they've been doing to the wide receivers.
Johnson under center. And he'll hand to Cook. Cook spins out of a tackle. Looks like from here, forward momentum will give him the first down.
I think he might be just short. Looks like they're marking it just short. It's going to be 4th down.
And here a little bit from the Viking faithful in attendance, and they've traveled in good numbers even with the 4-hour road trip.
Oh, the problem is the spot's not right. Let's see if they correct the spot.
So we'll check and see. A little discussion going on there.
The spot should be a half a yard short from where they've got it actually put on the field. Let's see if they're going to change that. They're not, and if they're not going to change it, it's a first down. Well, that's terrible officiating. Both the line judge called first down and 4th down, and now they're changing their call. So
it'll bring up a first down now for the for the Vikings. And they'll spot the ball at the 29 as they pick up a fresh set of downs. 7:26 left to go in the 3rd quarter. Dropping back, Johnson being chased by Parker, and he'll run towards out of bounds. He'll turn a potential loss into a small gain. Give him 2 on the play as we bring up a 2nd down and 8. That's going to put the ball
27.
So here,
Big
8 points to tie it up.
Big spot on the field here for the Challenger defense to get stiffen up here, 2nd and 8.
Dropping back, looking to throw. Pass complete to Schaefer. Schaefer will pick up a couple of yards. Looked like we might have seen a flag late on the play. Stop made by Derek Farmer.
For what? What's the flag for?
I wonder if they...
What's
Are they
the
going to pick
flag
it up?
for? Oh, face mask. So face masks on the Challengers. They continue to hurt themselves with penalties.
Yeah. Well, and that one came in pretty quick. So you know what I would assume in that situation, the official right there on the play.
Right on top of it.
Yep.
I was just curious what the call was, but face mask is.
Now we know.
Another first down for Vale.
Ball down at about the 11. Johnson with the football.
And we got a holding penalty, I think, in the backfield.
So we have another penalty flag come out, and the game kind of par for the course for the first week of the season. I think especially with all the new guys up front for the Challengers, they've experienced a little bit more than the Vikings.
So now 1st and 20 for Vale. Challengers with an opportunity now again to make a stop on defense.
Well, here's where they want to stiffen it up. And 1st and 20 with 6:29 left to go in the third. And it is Cook with the football. He gets a good portion of it back. And he is proving to be a tough guy to bring down.
Yes, he is. And that offensive line is getting a nice push, too. He's not getting hit until he's 5 or 6 yards down the field. He gets 8 yards on that one.
So that'll bring up a 2nd down and 12. That'll open up the playbook a little bit more for Coach Aldred and company. Ball spotted at the 13-yard line. Cook in the backfield along with Schaefer, the fullback. I formation look. Johnson going to roll out to his left, gets some pressure. Wyatt Hurley chasing him, and then finishing him off for the Challengers. Defensively, that looked like that might have been Blake Patterow, I believe.
No gain on the play.
So that'll bring up a 3rd down and 12. Here in 4-down territory, Vikings in the red zone.
Well, unless they have some sort of a field goal kicker, because remember they're on 8 points. So if they do have a field goal kicker and they don't make any yardage here, you may see them try to kick something.
Johnson takes the snap, rolls to his right, looking downfield.
Intercepted.
Big play there defensively for the Challengers. I believe that's Seth Scaglione.
And down on the turf, unfortunately, is Tucker Maben. And he's calling for the trainer right away. Kurt Smet out there.
Yep. Down for a second, looking, maybe got the wind knocked
out of him.
Yep.
I guess that's the case.
Yep, but Maben, good to see him going off under his own power. And now the Challengers get it back with 5:34. And what a clock-eating drive. Of course, I think that's the challenging part, Mark. Sometimes you get in a game like this, long drives are nice, but if you come away empty-handed, they can bite you if the Challengers should succeed in putting more points on the board.
Yeah, and you know, like I said, that Vale with a nice drive there and just a good play defensively by the Challengers. Vale's first turnover of the game, the interception, and a nice job by Seth Scaglione being in the right place at the right time.
Well, we were just talking about on the way over, Colton and I on the drive, and talking about Scaglione. Seems like there's a Fralix, there's a never-ending supply.
So here you've got Ryan Froughton, who's got to come in the game and snap the ball in place of, you remember, Tucker Maben's the center. So Froughton, it looks like, is in there.
5'9", 185-pound sophomore.
And he's got to get the ball, at least for one play, to Derek Farmer.
Farmer Caleb Scaglione in motion. And they'll go ahead and hand the ball off
to Walker.
Walker.
And a nice snap. Give Froughton credit for just coming in cold off the sideline to have to get a snap there right to Derek Farmer. And
I am positive that is Froughton's first varsity snap. And in a pressure situation like that, yeah, hats off to the young man filling in for Tucker Maben. Now we got a second down and about 5 or 6 yards. Trips to the left for the challengers, including Parker and Fianaka. And then with the football, Bryson Walker. Good defense. Calvin Longoni. Another one of those versatile guys. We see him kick the football. We see him on the O-line, and he makes a big defensive play there to bring up third down. Looked like they lost maybe about 3 yards on the play.
Yeah, it's kind of lost everything they gained on first down.
So bring up a third down and 9. Challengers at their own 8. Farmer takes the snap. Looks downfield. Cat pass caught. First down yardage for Caleb Parker.
I like it. A nice little deep out to Parker for a first down. Although, wait a minute. We have a flag? We do. We have a flag. It's holding against the challengers. Be half the distance to the goal.
So take it back to the 4.
I'll take it back to the 2, it looks like.
2, that's right.
It was on the 4, right?
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about the play before with the lost yardage. So now that'll bring up basically a third down and 10. Well, make it about a third and 11, actually.
8 penalties now on the challengers. Just racking them up here in this one.
Farmer, pair of receivers, out to his left. Farmer getting pressure and getting rid of the football.
Incomplete.
And it falls incomplete.
Which is lucky because otherwise it would have been a safety. So now the challengers can punt it. Boy, that was a rough offensive possession for Cascade.
Yeah, after getting the interception, ended up moving in the wrong direction. They had a good play to go to Parker, but nullified by a penalty flag, which at least in terms of things you don't want to see has been a negative for the challengers. Of course, an important snap here by Maben to the punter Fianaka. Good snap there and
delay a game, false start on the challengers.
So the challengers now closing in on double figures for penalties.
It's a 1 yard penalty. Because you're on the 2, half the distance to the goal.
So the challengers kick it away deep in their own territory. Fianaka, high snap, but he gets away the kick.
It's a beauty.
And having a little bit of trouble is Hartley. And down there, he's going to go ahead and fall on the ball. A wise move there by Cal Johnson.
And a nice job by Fianaka. Just really getting a nice punt in there and just really takes the Vikings back.
Poise under pressure. Alex Fianaka.
We talked about the defenses both winning the games early in the season, and that's what we've seen so far in this one. It's been a real defensive battle. Both defenses playing well, both offenses, moving the ball at times, struggling at times, and Vale now with the football back.
Vale at their own 42-yard line, so they got pretty good field position. With 3:28 left to go in the third quarter of play, dropping back. Johnson, ball's loose on the turf, and the challengers couldn't quite get there on time.
Nope, Vale's back on it. Lost a couple of yards on it.
Ball fell in the general direction of Elijah Matters, who's playing up front for the challengers. Now, there's a young man who's grown a lot over the last couple of years. Out for wrestling last season for winter sports. Just short of the 40-yard line. A loss of 2 on the play to make it a 2nd down and 12. Single setback, I believe that is Cook, and he's got the football and tries to rumble his way forward. Hard man to bring down as he crosses the 45-yard line. Picks up about 5 yards on the play to bring up a 3rd and 7.
Cook picks up about 7 yards. Going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
Vale has run a lot of plays. You mentioned it. Long drive, first drive. Challengers get the football back, just run 3 plays and have to punt. And now Vale with the football back again. So this almost this entire quarter, Vale has had the football. Challengers with just the 1 possession for 3 plays and a punt.
Hartley is split out wide right. We're looking for him downfield. Double coverage. Walker back there along with Caleb Scaglione.
Yeah, good coverage that time by the Challengers on Maddox as he's been getting behind. He's got behind the defense a couple different times, and now Vale with their own 3 and out here is they're going to have to punt the ball away.
So you have Maddox Hartley, number 12, Kellen Hartley, number 3, both of them juniors for the Vikings.
Twins, maybe?
Quite possibly. 1:58 to go in the 3rd. Johnson getting ready to kick it away. Johnson, high kick, fielded by Scaglione. Scaglione runs out to his left, crosses the 30-yard line, slips a tackle, a would-be tackle from Cook, gets across the 40-yard line up to about the 44. Thank you, Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less in Southern Oregon for 30 years of sponsorship with Table Rock Sports. Great community partners. If you shop at Sherm's, they will save you money. Challengers, good field position here.
Yeah, nice return that time by Scaglione, setting the Challengers up in really good, best, way better than back at the goal line where they had their last possession.
Challengers with Farmer in the backfield, single setback, twins to the right, twins to the left. Caleb Scaglione, the motion man. Quick throw, pass complete. Caleb gets some running room, and looks like from here he should be, if he didn't get the first down, he's close.
Yeah, and what's funny about that, they haven't run that play all day. And I feel like that's one of the plays that's one of the, Challenger standards. And Skaggs out in open space is something you want to be doing, and that is a really nice play. Just a little bubble screen out there to Scaglione after he's in motion, and picks up about 8 yards. Nice job.
2nd down and 2 for Cascade Christian. Ball at the 49-yard line. 1:14 with the clock running here in the 3rd quarter. And they'll hand it off to Walker. Walker gets away from the tackles, and he's downfield. He's to the 20, to the 10. He outruns the posse. Touchdown, Challengers.
49-yard touchdown for Walker. And you've said it. We've said it before. He gets loose, and you're not going to catch him.
No. Bryson Walker, just what the doctor ordered after Vale played pretty dominant football for much of the 3rd. Getting that separation that they need. And now Alex Fianaka, has this, or are they going to go for 2 here? Looks like they, no.
No, they're going to kick it, it looks like.
Okay. Fianaka, I'll tell you what, has he improved or what?
Oh, my. Those kickoffs are incredible. Let's see if he can make the extra point here.
Well, what do they say? Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And he's worked hard to become a weapon for the Challengers here. Successful on the point after attempt.
Who's holding for him? Because whoever that was did a really nice job. That was not a great snap.
I believe that was Scaglione, Caleb.
And he picked it up and put it on the tee just in time to get that through. So a nice job on kind of a low snap ground ball. And Skaggs gets it down in time for the kick to go through the uprights.
All right, 22-7, 59 seconds to go in the 3rd. We'll be right back.
Discover the Crater Advantage at Crater Car Wash today. Scan the QR code and sign up for your free $18 wash. Crater Car Wash. Clean. Dry. Fast.
What is a getaway? Is it leaving the familiar behind? Or discovering a place that feeds your hunger? Where passion sings, food is a culture, and every performance demands an encore. So let the journey be your destination. Then feast your eyes and nourish your soul in Southern Oregon. Your reservation starts when you travel Medford.
Discover the Crater Advantage at Crater Car Wash today. Scan the QR code and sign up for your free $18 wash. Crater Car Wash. Clean. Dry. Fast.
Kicking the ball away, Alex Fianacca, and once again, bringing back memories. Ethan Hoffman, I remember the days when he pretty well pinned it down there consistently. And Ethan, not unlike Fianacca, was one of those kids that started out as a strong place kicker and became a very skillful punter as his career went along.
So last couple of plays of the third quarter, the Challengers now with a lead, 22-7, 59 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Cook in the backfield, and he's been kind of a mainstay back there after that successful touchdown drive. And a little pitch play. Haven't seen one of those in a while, and he'll motor his way ahead to pick up a Vale first down.
Yeah, straight option, and a nice job of Johnson of making the pitch and getting Cook out in space where he could get 12 yards and a first down.
Clock running with 46 seconds left to go in the third. Up front for the Challengers, see Elijah Matters in there defensively, along with Pataroo and Fianacca. Johnson, quick throw to Hartley. Maddox Hartley makes the catch, works his way forward, just short of the 39-yard line. Over there with the stop is Caleb Scaglione. Also see Rowan Erickson in there defensively. Maben returns.
7 yards on the completion. 80 yards passing now unofficially for Vale, and 84 yards on the ground so far.
Now horn sounds, marking the end of the third quarter of play. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with the fourth quarter. Challengers lead 22-7. We'll have that for you on the other side of this break. Welcome back. Lippert's Carpet Lawn of Medford and Grants Pass. State Farm agent Rory Wold of Medford and Crater Car Wash in the Rogue Valley. We thank you for partnering with Table Rock Sports again in 2025. 3 great additions to our sponsorship roster. We start the fourth quarter of play. And here on second down, Johnson trying to elude the pressure.
Steps out of bounds, and there's a flag.
That came in just as he was about stepping out.
And it's a hold. So let's see what the Challengers do here. I think I'd take this one.
I think so too. And I say it looked like they declined it.
Looks like they did. Makes it third down now after the loss. So Johnson lost 4 yards on the play. So they decided will take the down and the -4 yards.
Third down and 7 yards to go after the penalty.
So we'll get that squared away on our scoreboard. Third down and 7. The Vikings at their 35. Johnson, the quarterback. Rodriguez back there with him. Maddox in motion. Now pass. Thrown into traffic.
Did he catch it? He did catch it.
So a nice catch in traffic.
8
Threading
yards.
the needle there is Johnson.
Yeah, 8 yards on the reception for the first down. Very nice play.
So that'll move. So that's got what? Wait a minute. Now I still see they're showing 3rd and 7 and the chains haven't moved.
And there's a penalty.
And a challenger down.
And a challenger penalty. What's the challenger penalty about?
Down on the turf is White Hurley. Yeah, I didn't see that one. Not this. Of course, they're closer to it, and I'm not. So.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just don't know what it was.
No, I'll be curious
so
to
it
see.
looks like there's a.
Is it maybe
50? There's a 15-yard. Must be a personal foul penalty against.
Maybe like
the
a
challengers.
face mask or something in the traffic.
Something like that.
That's what I'd be thinking. All that to say, that'll move the Vikings down to the challenger 42, and they'll pick up a first down.
Yeah, they actually had the first down before the penalty, but the penalty just adds on to it and puts them in really good field position here. 1st and 10 now, at, as you said, at the 42 of the Challengers. 11:46 to go here in the 4th quarter. So plenty of time for Vale to get back in this one.
On first down, Rodriguez slips a tackle from Erickson, but there to come up and clean up is Caleb Parker.
Loses a couple of yards on it.
Parker, I think, is one of those underrated defenders for the Challengers. I think we saw him in on a lot of tackles last year, and he's doing more of the same for the Challengers here in the.
He really has been. He's come back from that linebacker spot and made a lot of good plays from that spot.
Johnson dropping back, looking left, pass complete. Maddox Hartley there. And
14 yards and a first down.
Move the ball down to the 31-yard line.
I don't know why they keep losing Hartley. Hartley's got a ton of catches in this game, and yet he continues to get open. And that time, just wide open on the sideline, no one near him for a 14-yard gain.
Well, you talk about a quarterback needing to make good decisions, and Johnson's been making them in terms of getting them to the right guy. Pass complete here to Kellen Hartley. And nice pickup on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd down and short. So the Vikings working to keep themselves in it here. 10:27 left to go in the ball game. Let me update the scoreboard to show 4th period.
Over 100 yards passing now for the Vikings. Johnson keeps it.
And
he'll pick up about 6 yards and a first down.
Gets it into the red zone as he's down at the 18. So the Vikings offense, generally speaking, has picked up the pace here in the second half.
Yes, they certainly have.
They've made their adjustments and just needing the points to show for it. Meanwhile, Cook with it. He's got some speed with that power.
Well, and that big offensive line doing a good job of moving challengers down the field.
Pickup of 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2 for the Vikings with 9:34 clock running here in the final frame. Johnson hands to Cook, but this time
Caleb Parker
Parker strikes again. There with the finish for the Challengers is Nathan Cool.
Same play results in no gain. 3rd down, 2 yards to go.
Cook will come out of the lineup here on a 3rd down and 2.
And if you're the Challengers, I think you got to look for the quarterback.
And a throw pass complete to Kellen Hartley. And they're
That's
running
no
up.
gain as well.
Caleb Scaglione. So that'll bring up 4th down. 4th and 2. You can hear the Viking faithful cheering their team on. Brody McElroy coming out of the lineup along with Kellen Hartley and Maddox Hartley. Well, you knew this was coming, Mark. They're leading it up with beef.
Illegal. Vale timeout. Timeout, Vale.
All right, timeout called. We will take one as well. It is 22-7. Challengers with the lead with 8:16 to go. We'll be back after these messages.
Sports are in trouble, and officials are in extreme demand.
So we're looking for people like you, former athletes,
parents, and community members. What it takes is attention to detail,
a positive attitude, and respect for the game.
Anyone who can manage the game and stick with it.
Because the hard truth is,
No ref, no game. Play ball.
For almost 50 years, Bill's Glass has been the clear choice in Southern Oregon for your home, vehicle, or business needs. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass supports our schools and communities. Here a big 4th down and 2 play. Johnson with Rodriguez in the backfield. A show of pass, and the pass caught.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Vale. There with the touchdown reception, Troy Dayton, the tight end. Looks like we'll have Longoni in to attempt the point after. So we're back to, well,
no, they're going to go for 2.
They're going to go for 2. And should they succeed, it'd make it a 1-score game. Johnson with it. Going to try to run up the middle. It looked like from here.
He's short. No good.
He stopped him short. So it remains a 2-score game, 22-13. And we will pause for messages and be back on the other side of this break.
The Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Medford Superstore wants to buy your vehicle. So we'll beat any other dealer's offer to buy your vehicle by $500. And if we don't buy your vehicle, we'll fill up your gas tank. Only at Lithia Dodge.
Whether it's game day or a family get-together, Sherm's has the quality products and prices that will make you cheer. Sherm's Thunderbird Market, Medford's original discount grocery store.
You want diverse venues? We got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
The Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram of Medford Superstore wants to buy your vehicle. So we'll beat any other dealer's offer to buy your vehicle by $500. And if we don't buy your vehicle, we'll fill up your gas tank. Only at Lithia Dodge.
We will see. Well, we're at an interesting juncture here in the fourth quarter. And you just mentioned an interesting possibility. Onside kick, well, we'll see. Longoni, lineman by trade, mostly. But here we are, 8:13 to go. We'll see if that's a possible trick that they can pull out of their bag.
Well, if I'm the Challengers, I'd be ready for it because I'm guessing it's happening.
I would not be surprised in the least. Kind of looking over the array of challengers. And they're going to go ahead and knuckle one along the turf, and that ends up going out of bounds.
What happened?
Okay, it looks like sounded like they thought it went off of Scaglione.
Why did he not let it go out of bounds? Apparently, it went off of him, and it goes out of bounds, which means the Challengers get the ball at the 8. That was a big mistake by Skaggs. He needs to just let that ball go out of bounds.
So Challengers now find themselves deep in their own territory and leading by 9 here with 8:11 left to go. Walker and Farmer in the backfield. Twins on either side of the field. Flag on the play.
And another penalty against the Challengers.
Oh,
my goodness, I'm
that's
running out of space to put penalties on my sheet here. That's 11 penalties now against Cascade.
So a 1st and long for Cascade. And first down carry by Bryson Walker. Gets it out across the 5. Looks he's out about to the 7 or 8. So after the pickup on the play, that'll give the Challengers a 2nd and 13. We got a man down for Vale. I thought I saw number 30, but I don't see one on the roster.
I don't
see
either.
if I was looking at that right.
Yeah, there's no 30 on the roster, so I'm not sure who that is. Looks like a cramp, though.
So he'll come off the field under his own strength. So the Challengers, with 8:01 left to go in the ballgame, find themselves in a 2nd and long and an incredibly unfavorable field position. Farmer, Caleb Scaglione in motion. Farmer rolling to his left. Looking downfield, looking for Fianaka. Overthrows his intended target. Back there on the coverage, Cal Johnson for the Vikings. And so that'll bring up a 3rd down and 13.
Challengers, I don't really get that particular call, throwing the ball deep like that. You need to pick up yardage here and give your punter some room to punt the football.
Yeah, at the very least.
And also run the clock. And that play, no time came off the clock.
7:54 left to go on the game. Kellen Hartley checks in. For the Challengers, trips to the left. Wide right is Caleb Parker. Man in motion is Michael Covey.
And the Challengers take a timeout.
Timeout called with 7:54 left to go in the ball game. We'll pause for messages, and we will be right back.
At Rogue Credit Union, we don't answer to shareholders. Instead, we return earnings back to our members. We know that we're stronger when we work together, and that's why we're invested here, living, giving, and supporting local. We're your friends and your neighbors. We know the needs of our communities. Being a part of Rogue means that our focus is on our members, and when you prosper, we prosper. See the credit union difference and how being a part of something smaller can have a bigger impact.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run.
Back to action. 3rd down and 12. Farmer drops back, pass complete to Walker. Well, it looked like he took him in the end zone.
No, he's on the 1.
On the 1.
I can see the referee marking it on there.
Oh, man. I tell you what.
So he went from the 6 down to the 1, so a loss of 5.
A rough series of events for the Challengers. It'll be very important for the Challengers get a good kick away. Ideally set up by a good snap. Fianaka has been true to the task this evening. And no kick more important than this one. He'll go ahead and kick it away. High kick. Takes a challenger bounce down to about the 44. Still excellent field position for the Vikings, who've been successful moving the football in the second half. And right now they find themselves, with 7:40 left to go, plenty of opportunity, but still down by 9. So it's still a 2-score game.
It is a 2-score game. However, Challengers took almost no time off the clock there. I think it was 8-something, and now it's 7:40. So just sort of a pathetic possession.
Yeah, it was a tough one for him. There's no way of sugarcoating it.
And Vale calls a timeout. Well, that's not a good shot thing for them either. They come off the field after a punt, and they got to call a timeout. So I believe that's their second timeout that they've called now. So they only have one left. And anyway, it's not the coaches aren't making a lot of points here either right now, it seems like.
No, these are all things that probably, all things being equal, you're hoping you have the opportunity to just burn the tape after after the season.
It's the first game, though, I guess. What should you expect, right?
Right, exactly. Discover the vibrant lifestyle at Twin Creeks Retirement in Central Point. Enjoy spacious apartments, gourmet dining, and enriching activities in a welcoming community. Learn more at TwinCreeksRetirement.com. And also check out the new sports voice in Southern Oregon, the Ace Sports Radio, AM 1300, 107.9 FM, and streaming live at the acesportsradio.com. So here we go. Opportunity for the Vikings. Got momentum riding in their favor. Johnson completes the pass to Hartley. And, of course, it is Kellen Hartley, though, if we speak.
It's a very short gain. Clock continues to run. Got about a 1-yard gain.
7:34. Johnson going to run to his left, but right there to stand him up. Challenger defense. See Fianaka in there, also in on the action. Blake Pateru.
He lost a couple yards on the play. Brings up 3rd and long.
You know, remembering the storied history of the Vale program, I tell you what, there's a name that stands out above them all. Remember Dave Wilcox? 49ers great. Vale Viking product. So is his brother John. And here, Vale in a little bit of trouble here. Pass thrown downfield, thrown high. Hartley trying to get his mitts on it, and it falls incomplete to bring up 3rd down.
It's 4th down, Jim.
Oh, 4th down.
Yeah, 4th down and 12 now, and the Challenger defense an opportunity to get their offense back on the field with some better field position because Vale looks like they're going to go for it. And they kind of have to at this point in the game.
Yeah, they do. Don't think there's really any way around it. Time is not your friend, and you got to put up 2 scores. And you've made enough big plays. You might be able to get another one here as Johnson drops back. A lot of pressure, and the pass intercepted there to grab it.
Nope, we're going to have a pass interference call.
Flag on the play.
Ball's intercepted. Looks like a fumble there on the return.
And we got a pass interference call down the field.
There is a flag on the field.
Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, you almost have to think it's some kind of defensive penalty.
I think it's a pass interference call. It's going to be a 15-yard penalty against the Challengers. It is.
Pass interference on the Challengers.
Penalty number 12 now on Cascade Christian.
6:43 left to go in the ball game, and life extended for the Vikings. They have the ball now down at the 31. So the Challenger defense is going to have to answer the bell once again. Johnson, pass complete. There to make the catch, Troy Dayton. Dayton, you may recall, the recipient of the touchdown pass from Johnson.
On the 4th down play where you thought they might run, it's 4th and 2, and they end up at the 11, and they end up throwing it to Dayton for the touchdown. So Vale's got some, they've done a good job of mixing their plays up and confusing that Challenger defense at times.
2nd and 7, clock running with 6:28 left to go. There with the carry is Cook. Cook dragged down, and still he manages to get the ball down to about the 25-yard line. So 3rd down.
Clock running, 5:59 here to go in the 4th quarter.
And whistle before the snap.
False
penalty.
Start.
So this one against the Vikings. So not
just the 5th penalty against the Vikings to 12 against the Challengers. It's been one of those nights where both teams have been a little bit, it's the first game of the season, I guess.
Yeah. You have to just kind of leave it lie right there and look for better things next Friday night.
Clock running, 5:35 to go here in the 4th quarter.
The Challenger lead is 9. And another pre-snap penalty against the Vikings. So now it'll bring up a 3rd down and 14.
And the clock running.
5:22. And it keeps winding its way downward. Cook in the backfield wearing number 33. Schaefer in the slot, another big target. Johnson dropping back, getting a little bit of pressure. Pass caught, but it is
Incomplete.
dropped. Falls incomplete. Kellen Hartley looked like he had it there for a moment. And now it'll bring up 4th down. That'll stop the clock with 5:01 left to go.
And 4th and 14.
Challengers working on getting some pressure back there. Up front for the Challengers, Maben, Patarou, and Fianaka.
Look for them to come right back to number 3 again on the out.
Rolling left is Johnson. Johnson getting pressure, dragging him down is Alex Fianaka.
Loss of 9 on the play, and the Challengers take over on downs, even more importantly.
4:54 left to go in the ball game, and the Challengers leading by 9 get it back. Alex Fianaka, who we saw in the last couple of years has been a real difference maker from his defensive end position, and play here, get the Challengers the ball back.
Yeah, that Challenger defense with some good coverage down the field that time.
Farmer at quarterback, Bryson Walker back there with them. Here on the short side of the field, it's Caleb Parker split wide. I'll hand the ball to Walker. Walker explodes. Gets the ball out to about the 48-yard line.
Give him 3 yards on the carry. Challengers with 173 yards unofficially on the ground tonight, and only 46 yards through the air. And we've seen this in the past. Sometimes it takes that Challenger offense a little bit to get the pass game going. It usually lags behind the run game a little bit.
Well, I see a little combination, good pressure by the Vikings.
Yeah, absolutely, and good coverage down the field for the most part by the Vikings as well. They played good defense. Both teams have played good defense.
Yeah, I don't think this Viking team is going away anytime soon. Pass complete from Farmer to Caleb Scaglione. He keeps his feet Gets it across midfield.
And out of bounds. It looks like he picked up. Did he get a first down?
Apparently he did. So it'll be a first down and 10 for the Challengers. 3:57 left to go. Well, this is the time for playing smart football and taking care of business.
Well, and I think there's some discussion, and there should be, about the chains, because I don't think it's a first down. They marked him out. It looked like a couple of yards short of the first down, and yet they called it a first down. So now they're going to have to see if they can figure out where they were. Yeah, there we go. And it's going to go back to third down. And I think they're a couple of yards short of the first down.
Now they just need to get the sticks situated.
It's third and 1.
There we go. Now they're getting it set.
3rd and 2.
Well, you know, for the chain gang and all folks involved in it, the officiating, it's their first week too. Almost always in the mix, you get a few people kind of new to what they're doing, and then some tough calls to make from time to time. So it's 3rd and 2, ball at the 47 of the Vikings. And they'll go ahead and hand to Walker, and he picks up the Challenger first down.
Nice job by Walker, just putting his head down. He knew what he needed to get. He needed 2, he got 3. And the Challengers pick up the first down. And remember, they can keep the clock running every time they pick up a first down. 3 minutes and 49 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Challengers lead by 9.
Challengers on the move. Ball at the 44-yard line. Caleb Parker out wide to the right. Walker in the backfield along with Farmer. Twins out to the left side of the field. And they'll go ahead and hand to Walker. Walker makes a nice cut there, keeps his feet. He gets a Challenger first down and a little bit more. Walker down to about the 26, 27-yard line and keeps it moving.
Yeah, nice job by Walker. 12, 15 yards on the carry. And you saw him break out of a couple tackles. He's very elusive, very strong little guy. And a nice run for him. And gives the Challengers another first down.
Clock running with 3 minutes left to go in the ball game. And he's been doing some camps over the summer for football. I think there's some college coaches who would like to make a slot receiver out of him eventually.
Well, he reminds you of a little scat receiver, doesn't he?
Yeah, and there's a long pass. And they're making the catch, and scoring is Caleb Scaglione.
Is that Skaggs? Yep. Yeah, they faked the little screen out to the right, and then Skaggs did a hesitation and go for the touchdown.
So the Challengers, a little icing on the cake late in the ball game to make it 28-13. Alex Fianacca with Caleb Scaglione. And you talk about versatility. Scaglione will show up on the depth chart as a backup quarterback somewhere. I would imagine we haven't seen the last of him in that position. You can use him as a running back. You can use him as a slot receiver. He's a stalwart in the secondary for the Challengers. And he's your holder, too.
Yeah. And he washes the dishes and takes out the garbage.
We'll have to ask Pam about that. Mom might have... We'll have to get the official report from here, but Fianacca knocks it right down Broadway. It's good. It's a 29-13 ball game. And we'll be back after these messages here on TableRockSports.net.
Diverse venues, we got them. Year-round sports access? You bet. Race cars, soccer, paragliding? Check, check, check. Medford has it covered as your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
Okay, you know how people complain about how Dutch Bros workers are like too nice, too hyper, compliment you too much, whatever? Maybe you're not nice enough. Maybe you need to get a little Dutch Bros in you.
Discover the West Coast destination for those seeking more. More sunny days, more athletic facilities, more outdoor adventures, more to do during downtime. Medford is your sport ground, where the West Coast plays.
2:41 left to go in the ball game. Alex Fiannaca has been putting on a show in terms of his abilities from special teams perspective. And kind of a line drive kick. This one's going to land in the field of play. And picking up and running with it, securing it, and running with the football is Colin Mulvaney, senior lineman.
Yeah.
And he got a hold of it. It was like, well, I'm not wasting this opportunity.
Give him a 30-yard kick return and great field position for Vale. Thankfully, the Challengers have sort of put the kibosh on this Vale comeback by scoring that touchdown in their last possession. They just need to make sure that they make Vale take some time to move this ball down the field here, and the game should be mostly over. 2:34 to go left in the fourth quarter.
Tate Cook coming off the field. Rodriguez in the backfield. And there defensively for the Challengers, that looks like Hutton Walker over there.
It is. And a nice job by him. The pass incomplete.
I tell you what, I think it's going to be, I know he's just a freshman, but I think it's going to be hard to keep him off the field.
A lot of speed. Both of those Walkers have a lot of speed.
2:29 left to go. Second down and 10. Johnson dropping back, looking downfield, getting some pressure from Maben, and he's going to take off and run. We got a flag in the offensive backfield, which usually portends things that aren't good.
It's a hold
for the offense. So that'll move him back 10 yards. Next up for the Vikings, they'll be in action on Friday night at home, taking on LeGrand. And for the Challengers, their home opener, Cascade Christian, taking on Douglas at Lithium Driveway Field. And, of course, if you can't make it to the game, we welcome you to join us here on Table Rock Sports. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore. And on the camera, Colton Treadway. Checking into the Vale lineup, we see Jace Aldred.
Well, Johnson was injured a little bit on that last play and had to come out. Looks like he's got a cramp. And so Aldred's going to come in, I think, and at least play quarterback for one play.
Freshman. Out of the shotgun, and a penalty on the play.
Ball start.
.223 left to go in the ball game.
Jace Aldred in at the quarterback position.
Grateful we were able to get this ball game in, Mark. I had my questions about it.
Very thankful that we could get it in. And it does look like it's getting a bit smokier as we've been going along this evening, but so far still not very bad.
No, about 108. Not ideal there. Aldred does the smart thing. Jumps on it. And that'll bring up now
Challengers' defense has been pretty darn good today, Jim.
It certainly has answered the bell and has done so nicely against a Vale team that historically has always been proven to be difficult to stop. Long ball down the field. Lots of coverage back there for the Challengers. See Hutton Walker back there. Also looks like we've got Seth Scaglione in the neighborhood.
Johnson did throw that. He was back in the game, and he's going to step back now and punt the football with 1:43 to go.
So
and the Challengers should be able to take a couple of knees and call this a football game.
Challengers avenging their season opening loss against the Vikings last season. But both teams putting on quite a game here. Tightly contested for a while. Both teams, though, you can see some positives and you can see some things that they'll go to the drawing board on it this week.
Yeah, the Challengers only 79 yards passing, very uncharacteristic for this type of offense. And, you know, one of the things, I didn't see a lot of tunnels and bubble screens and stuff like that we've traditionally seen with the Challengers. They just had trouble. Part of it, I think, was protecting the quarterback. You mentioned it earlier. Vale did a good job of putting pressure on Derek Farmer all night.
1:33 to go, 1st and 10.
And the Challengers in the knee formation, it looks like.
Yeah.
The only time they get up under center.
Yeah, you don't see that very often at all.
And really all they should have to do is take 3 knees, and this game should be over.
So Cascade Christian, win number 1, coming quicker than it did last year. And a victory hard won against a Viking team that, well, again, this at least for the early season eye test, has a look of being another top 5 team.
Oh yeah, they're going to be right in it at the end of the year. You can tell.
As a matter of fact, we could see them again down the road.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Well, let the time run and keep an eye on the back judge, and the time continues to wind down as we look to close the book on the first game of the 2025 season. Farmer taking a knee there, and now we're 30 seconds in running as the clock winds down. Everybody making their way back to their respective benches. So the Cascade Christian Challengers take away the victory, prevailing against the Vale Vikings by a score of 29-13. The horn sounds, and this game is done. Your final score, the Cascade Christian Challengers 29, the Vale Vikings 13. We'll take a 2-minute break, and then we'll be back with our post-game show, complete with stats. And we'll have that for you coming up after this 2-minute break.
It's game time. And there's only one thing that makes it all possible. Refs.
We're looking for people like you.
Former athletes, parents, community members.
Anyone who can manage the game and stick with it.
But we need more heroes and stripes. People like you.
Join the team and keep sports alive.
Play ball.
Because no ref, no game.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Combining your home and auto insurance could save you time and money. And who doesn't like that? Want surprisingly great rates on auto, home, and life? Now's the time to call State Farm agent Rory Wold in Medford.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
This has been my profession for
30 plus years now. I really love my work. We try to source as many ingredients as we can as local as possible, like local fruits and vegetables. We have a menu like you would find in any nice restaurant. We don't make it until you order it, so everything will be coming out fresh. We do have wonderful desserts here as well. Every day you have 5 or 6 options as far as the fresh dessert go. People are bringing their friends and family and wanting to show off what we have here to offer.
Come take a tour of Twin Creeks and meet our award-winning.
Welcome back to Summit High School in Bend, Oregon. A neutral site game that was the site of one of the premier matchups of the first week of the season. 2 of the top programs in the state, although obviously there are others like Banks that will have a lot to say about that. Burns, and that'll be coming up on the Vale schedule soon as their league opponents. But the Challengers come away winners tonight by a score of 29-13. Looking at the scoring from the game, on their first series of the game, it was Bryson Walker with an 8-yard run, point after attempt by Fianaka Good to make it a 7-0 ball game. Challengers got a little bit of a scare when a tip pass went for an interception. Challengers defense stiffened up and they got the ball back. Caleb Scaglione ended up taking it home on a 5-yard run. And the 2-point conversion was good on a busted play. Again, Caleb Scaglione to make it 15-0. Then just right before halftime, the Vikings come alive. A great drive with some good power running. But it was a touchdown pass from Johnson to Dayton. And the successful point after by Longoni made it a 15-7 ball game. Then in the third quarter, things kind of got rough for the Challengers in terms of being able to move the ball. On top of that, the Vikings, with some success moving it, unfortunately not able to get points on the board. Challengers extended their lead on a 49-yard touchdown run by Bryson Walker. The point after, good to make it 22-7. Then with 8:13 to go, the Vikings scored on an 11-yard touchdown pass from Johnson to Dayton. Once again, the 2-point conversion attempt no good to make it 22-13. But the Challengers put the final nail in the coffin when Derek Farmer connected with Caleb Scaglione. The point after attempt good to make it a 29-13 ball game, your final score. And Mark, you've got the post-game stats for us.
I do, and really came down to running the football. I mean, both teams struggled passing it, and neither team very successful in the passing game. The Challengers just 10 for 18 passing for 79 yards. Vale 15 for 26 for 127. But the Challengers on the ground, 28 carries, 191 yards on the ground today. That's 6.8 yards per carry. So a nice job by the Challengers running the football. And you know, that's something it's usually more of a mix, but tonight for Cascade, a lot more rushes than we saw. 28 rushes, 18 passes, kind of an unusual miss from what we usually see for the Challengers. Finishing off the stats for Vale, like I said, 14 first downs, 35 carries, 75 yards. Passing, Johnson 15 for 26 for 127. Total offense, excluding returns, 202 yards for Vale. 30 yards in returns give them total offense of 232 yards. Remember, they had 98 in the first half, so a little bit better in the second half for Vale. But as Jim mentioned, they struggled to get points on the board, especially in that third quarter when they had the ball for most of the quarter and didn't get any points out of it. Penalties for Vale, 8 penalties, 70 yards. We mentioned a lot of penalties in this game, but you sort of expect that with a first game. Not super unusual, but 20 penalties between the two teams. For the Challengers, first downs, they also had 14 first downs. Rushing yards, though, that's the big difference. We mentioned it already, but 28 carries, 191 yards for the Challengers. That's 6.8 yards a carry. So very good rushing average and did a good job of controlling the football when they had it. Passing, Farmer tonight, 10 for 18 for just 79 yards and the 1 interception. Return yards for the Challengers, 80. Total offense for Cascade Christian, 350 yards. Penalties for the Challengers, 12 penalties. Again, way too many. 108 yards in penalties against Cascade Christian. But a nice football game for the Challengers. You know, you expect a little bit sloppiness here to start the season, and especially against a top-notch opponent like Vale. This was a little bit of a slugfest, and the Challengers got to be happy that they came out on top.
Absolutely. Well, you know that first game is always that one where you kind of Well, you've been working on stuff, but you've been beating up on each other for several weeks now, and now you got to take time to put it to the test and to go out here and pick up a week 1 victory against one of the best programs. This was a team that lost only 1 game last year. Granted, not unlike the Challengers over the last couple of years. A lot of changes, a lot of faces have changed. But if you're a Vikings fan, you got to like some of the things that you see, that there is the capability to play a very balanced game, that you can see Maddox Hartley is going to be a good target for Cal Johnson. I thought Johnson really did a nice job of threading the needle on a couple of his throws. Then you couple that with the fact that you can mix thunder and lightning between Rodriguez, Tate Cook, and then you also have Schaefer that you can run out of the backfield. And again, their defense gave the Challengers some trouble this evening.
Especially their passing defense, and that Challenger line got challenged. I mean, really, it was tough for them to keep guys out of the backfield. Derek Farmer with a lot of pressure on him from that Vale defense. They did a great job of keeping pressure on Farmer.
Absolutely, but the Challengers prevail to open up the 2025 season. And again, we'll have their next game for you coming up on Table Rock Sports Friday night against Douglas, 7 p.m. over at Lithia Driveway Field, number 10. Well, that'll wrap things up for us. Your final score, the Cascade Christian Challengers 29 and the Vale Vikings 13. Our executive producer is Joe Brett. For our cameraman, Colton Treadway. For Mark McLemore, I'm Jim McCoy saying thank you for joining us and enjoy a good weekend. And for you fans that are here in attendance here in Bend, have a safe drive home.